Presented by Honda. At the Model Clearout event, it's the best time to team up with a Honda you'll love.
Welcome to Rogers Center. A Friday Fan Festival took place outside before this game. Jim Cuddy was a guest entertainer, and it's a spectacular day here in Toronto. The roof is wide open. It's 25 degrees at the start of this ball game, and Tampa Bay's in town for the first time. That's hard to fathom. Here we are in August. They haven't come to Rogers Center yet, but they're here tonight, and they have played six straight one-run games. They're a game over 500. Choi has been terrific. He has played second base. He's at third base tonight over his last 11 games, hitting nearly 400 for Tampa Bay. And then right behind him, the first baseman. Boy, he had a good series against the Blue Jays earlier in the season. He was 5 for 10 with a double home run and 2 RBIs, and he can really play defense at first base.
Yeah, Blue Jays couldn't get him out when we were down at the Trop. Marco Estrada with his 20th start of this season. That's 4 straight years with the Blue Jays. Marco has made at least 20 starts, and he can't pitch any better than he did in his last start in Seattle. Retired 19 the first 20 batters he faced through 7 innings. That's the 3rd time this season he has done that. For his career, though, he's just 1-8 versus the Rays.
Tampa Bay has given him fits. Alex Smith, the leadoff hitter. Here's the first pitch of the ball game. A breaking ball for a ball, and we are underway. Malik Smith's done a nice job. His average at .299 for the season. And in August, he is really playing the role of a leadoff hitter. He's got a .600 on-base percentage in August. That's the best percentage in baseball.
Got to keep him off the bases. He is their best base stealer. Their fastest. He's got 25 stolen bases this year. He's really taken to that leadoff role.
He's become an everyday player. He certainly filled in very well in center field when Kevin Kiermaier was out with an injury. Now he is back in left. He's played all 3 outfield positions this year. There's a strike. It's 2-1. Marco Estrada, you can see him shaking his head. We watched him warm up, and he was dealing with that hot spot on his finger again down in the bullpen. Hopefully that will not be an issue for him. There's that great changeup.
Yeah, I'm also interested to watch his fastball. You could just tell something just didn't look right when he was warming up down in the bullpen. His fastball, that first one, was just 84 miles an hour.
2-2. Swing and a miss. Estrada strikes out Smith to start the ball game. Marco has dealt with back issues, and he had a little bit of a muscle strain earlier, and as we watched him warm up, he was frustrated. You could see it in his warm-ups that he's trying to loosen up that back, and his finger was a concern as well. Pete Walker and Dane Johnson, the 2 pitching coaches, were standing right there with him.
Remember, he had the side problem also in his hip earlier this season. Spent some time away from the ball club with that issue also, so we'll watch him carefully.
Joey Wendell, the third baseman tonight. He's at .395 over his last 11 games. A cutter in there for a strike. Wendell is 28 years old. They got him from Oakland. He was originally drafted by Cleveland, but Oakland kind of had him pigeonholed as a second baseman. But he has played well at third, moved around. He's a pretty versatile player.
And he gives you great at-bats. Tough to strike out. He puts the ball in play. He's old school all the way. Look at that. No batting gloves up there. Tries to hit the ball back through the middle. Not a lot of power. That's why the outfield is not that deep against Wendell.
Fouls that one straight back to the screen. Wendell, as we mentioned, drafted by the Indians in 2012. He was traded from Cleveland to Oakland for Brandon Moss in December of 2014. Had a couple of cups of coffee with Oakland in 2016 and 2017. Fastball hit in the air. Pillar's got a beat on it. He's got plenty of room in center and makes the catch. 2 up, 2 down for Estrada. The Blue Jays They've got Kevin Pillar back in center, and they've got a new third baseman in Richard Urania.
Yeah, he's never played third base in the major leagues. He was telling me today the last time he played third base was when he was in A-ball in 2014 in Vancouver. He will get the start tonight at third base. And again, when Marco Estrada's on, you're going to get a lot of fly balls and a lot of strikeouts, not a lot of ground balls. So a good time to give Solarte the day off.
Here's Jake Bowers. He takes the first pitch strike. We had mentioned Bowers 5 for 10 for his career against the Jays. When you look at this roster, there are going to be a lot of names you've not heard before. The Rays have used 20 different rookies this season. That's the most in the majors. They're one ahead of the Marlins. Kevin Cash, the young manager, has had to show a lot of patience with these young players. He's got a bench coach in Charlie Montoya, who's a veteran coach as well. Marco Estrada with a good start to this ball game. 3 up, 3 down with a couple of strikeouts. So far, so good for Marco. Now, Justin Smoke, he's one off his all-time hit streak and a 14-game hit streak spanning 2 seasons a couple of years ago. 382 during the 13-game streak with 5 doubles and a pair of home runs and 11 misdeeds. He too has got a hit streak going. He's got a 7-gamer. He's hit 440 during those 7 games with 3 home runs and 5 ribbies. A couple of hot hitters.
Yeah, they have a few hot hitters in that lineup, and they've been scoring their share of runs. They're in tough tonight against Blake Snell, his 22nd start of the season, just reinstated from the 10-day disabled list with left shoulder fatigue. Made his first start since July the 21st at Minnesota. Last start, 59 pitches. He can get up to 75 pitches. Tonight they're hoping to get him 5, maybe 6 innings as they bring him along.
Brandon Gritchick goes after the first pitch and hits it high in the air to center field. Kevin Kiermaier. He cruises onto the warning track and makes an easy play of it. Kiermaier can really go get him in center. He's got great speed. He's got Gomez in right, Smith in left, and they've got a new shortstop in Willie Adames.
Yeah, Adames has taken over every day as shortstop. Adeiny Echeverria started the year as their starting shortstop. Position has been handed off, I think, to Adames. He's a very talented player. He's going to play every day for him at shortstop. He's got a good arm and a very good bat. This is a team, you know, like you said earlier, Buck, that is totally different than the one we saw earlier this year.
Here's Devin Travis. He takes the first pitch strike from Snell. Devin batting .250. He's 3 for 5 going up against Blake Snell. There's that good curveball. He's got a wicked curveball, and when you combine it with his good fastball, they both come out of his hand at the same plane. It's a very good combination.
He gets a lot of swing and miss on that curveball out of the strike zone. So the Blue Jays have to make sure he gets it in, and he's going to pick up his first strikeout on a ball in the dirt.
So Travis strikes out. Michael Perez, the catcher, blocked it, and I think Travis hit the catcher with the bat. That's why he was called out immediately. Watch the break on this curveball.
It's hard and it's straight down. There's what you were just talking about. The follow through by Travis hits the catcher, so he is out. Again, he gets a lot of swing and miss on that curveball out of the strike zone.
Michael Perez, 26 years old, was just acquired on the 25th of July. Smoke goes after the first pitch. It's a 2-hopper to third. 3 up, 3 down for Blake Snell. It took him just 5 pitches to retire the side in order.
Battle, you can help your team win, especially against Boston. It's definitely uplifting. Borucki felt good about keeping his team in the ball game. He said against every team he goes out there with the same game plan and then make adjustments on the fly depending on his results. Asked what the game plan was against Mookie Betts, who hit for the cycle buck, Borucki laughed and said, "There is none. You just hope he doesn't get a hit."
Yeah, you hope that you can just get him to hit it at somebody, because that's how hot he is. This is G-Man Choi, the cleanup hitter tonight. He goes after the first pitch changeup. Choi is from Incheon, South Korea. He's 27 years old. He originally signed with Seattle as a free agent back in 2009. He's had time with the Angels, the Yankees, Milwaukee, and now Tampa Bay. This year he played in 12 games with Milwaukee. This is his 19th game with Tampa Bay. He scuffled over his last several games. Choi hitting .225 on the season. He's got 4 doubles and 4 homers. That changeup has baffled him so far.
He is not picking up that changeup at all.
Choi was traded on the 10th of June from Milwaukee to Tampa Bay for Brad Miller. And this Tampa Bay team, they have made some dramatic changes. And it started way back in May with the trade of Colomé and Span to Seattle. Denard Span and Alex Colomé.
And to their credit, they have battled. They have really played a lot. They've played a lot of one-run games, and they've battled, and they've come to play every day. I think that's a reflection of their manager, Kevin Cash. He has got to get some votes for me for Manager of the Year for what he has had to go through this year.
They're game over 500. And when you look at the trades they have made over the course of this summer, and this goes back to last year as well. Evan Longoria was traded. Jake Odorizzi is in Minnesota. Corey Dickerson's had a heck of a year for the Pirates, and now Colomé is pitching for Seattle. And Estrada comes up with his 3rd strikeout.
Yeah, and Nathan Eovaldi, that's the latest one, and Wilson Ramos, 2 very good players right at the trade deadline going to contenders, and that's what Kevin Cash has had to deal with, plus all the injuries.
They traded Chris Archer to the Pirates. They got 2 good players in return. Tyler Glasnow, a pitcher. We'll see him on Sunday, and Austin Meadows, an outfielder with a lot of great upside for Meadows. He is currently in the minors, but they expect him to be in the big leagues before too long.
Former first-round draft pick. He'll be up here soon.
Carlos Gomez hits it to left field. Hernandez is there. Gomez retired on one pitch. 5 in a row retired by Estrada to start this game. Kevin Kiermaier, he has really struggled. Kiermaier spent some time on the disabled list. He got hurt back in April. Kiermaier batting 178. Look at his on-base percentage, is 254.
Yeah, that's not him. You can't take advantage of that great speed if you can't get on base. Injuries have had a problem with him through his whole career. Just one for his last 22. Look at the month of August, not good.
Kiermaier missed 57 games with a torn ligament in his thumb. It has been a situation. He's only had one season in which he's had 500 at-bats. High fastball he lays off.
He's been a 300 hitter against the Blue Jays. He's gotten tons of hits against them, big hits versus Toronto.
Gets a piece of that changeup. Urania into foul territory will make a nice catch. Richard Urania, his first game as a third baseman, makes like a shortstop to get Estrada out of the game. Tough play for Urania. He's playing in the shift. He had a long run, but he makes the catch to retire Kiermaier, and Estrada is out of the second. He stepped it up a notch over his last 6 starts. Made his first all-star team this year, and Pat, over those last 6 games, he's pitching like an all-star.
Wow, look at the numbers. The ERA, fantastic. His opponent hitting under 200, striking out over a batter an inning. He's won at Houston. He beat Washington. He beat Houston again. The Mets, Minnesota. The only one that he didn't win was a no decision versus the White Sox, and that was when he was coming off the disabled list, and he was only limited to 4 innings.
Threw 59 pitches in that outing. That was on the 4th of August. Snell made his all-star team this year. The first time he was an all-star. Richard Urania. Oh, excuse me, Teoscar Hernandez takes strike 2. Teoscar hitting cleanup. High fastball, and that's setting up that curveball.
Yes, that's where he likes to throw his fastball, especially with 2 strikes up. Maybe you'll swing at it. If you don't, that's when he comes back with that good, hard overhand curveball.
Breaking ball in the dirt for another strikeout. 2 strikeouts already for Blake Snell.
Well, he's throwing harder and harder, and that's the one thing that the Blue Jays need to figure out is he's got 96, 97, 98 in the tank, but he's got a great breaking ball. Fastball early on, change up 18% of the time, and it's 87 miles an hour. Plenty of separation in miles per hour, and there's the curveball right there. He'll throw it 17% of the time, and it's a good one.
Kendrys Morales. Well, Blue Jays aren't picking up that curveball at all. He's got tight spin. You don't see much rotation on the curveball because it is such a tight breaking pitch.
You know what I would do? I wouldn't look for it, and I wouldn't swing at him. I would just sit on his fastball or his changeup because he hasn't thrown one of those curveballs for a strike yet.
That's bounced foul. Generally, good hitters will pick up the rotation on a curveball and they can lay off of it if they recognize it early, but Snell's is so hard and comes from the same angle as his fastball. It's a real challenge. .97. That's a tough combination. I mean, that type of combination, you're talking about some of the all-time great left-handers. Guys that throw that hard, Sam McDowell, Sandy Koufax, Vida Blue, that's the same type of stuff those guys feature.
We talked about that earlier today about some of the best stuff in the American League, and he's finally putting it together. You and I had a discussion with their former pitching coach, Jim Hickey, and he was telling us last year that at this stage of his career, his stuff was better than David Price. It was only a matter of time. He had to put it all together, and he was going to be a big winner.
And you look at Snell and what he has done this season, he certainly deserved to be on the All-Star team. He's third in the American League in ERA at .227. He's ahead of Verlander and Garrett Cole, two great right-handers with the Astros. He was selected on the All-Star team as he was a replacement for Corey Kluber. Strike three called. 98 down and away for the strikeout.
That's the pitch you got to be able to hit right there, but it was an excellent spot for yet another strikeout, his third in the first 5 batters. The Super Slow-Mo is brought to you by the Samsung S9 and S9 Plus, the camera reimagined. Available now. Boy, he gets on top of that thing and drives it down in the strike zone.
Aledmus Diaz went after that changeup, an off-speed pitch, but it's 90 miles an hour. Diaz has got a 7-game hit streak, as we mentioned earlier, batting .440 during those 7 games. He can get on that fastball.
Yeah, he's an aggressive hitter. Doesn't waste any time when he gets in there. He's ready to swing from the first pitch.
Kyle Snyder, in his first year as the pitching coach, has done a nice job with Blake Snell. Fastball, too hopper to third. Wendell has it, throws it in the dirt. Jake Bowers digs it out of the dirt. Another quick inning for Blake Snell. He's retired the first 6 he's faced here tonight.
anniversary tomorrow at 4:07 p.m. Come to the WestJet flight deck during the ball game and visit Memory Lane for your chance to get your picture taken with alumni, or visit Section 127 to take your picture with the World Series trophies. Catch Guzman, Olerud, Winfield, and more. Arrive early for the pregame ceremony. You can pick up your tickets right now by visiting BlueJays.com. Buck.
Thank you very much, Hazel. And Pat Tabler, he's right in the middle of that celebration, number 15. You almost lost your hat.
You know, I saw where the camera was. I said, I'm going to get right in front of that camera during the celebration to get my name on there. No, I'm just kidding. That was a lot of fun.
This is Brandon Lau. It looks like Lowe, but it's pronounced Lau, like Charlie Lau, the great hitting coach. There's a curveball. He goes after it.
You were mentioning last inning about all the new players that the Tampa Bay Rays have in their lineup. I think that goes advantage Marco Estrada. He always seems to have his better games against players that don't know that much about his curveball, about his great changeup, the way he goes about his business. And so far, so good. He's retired all 6 batters he's faced.
Yeah, you can see all of the hitters trying to get a read on Estrada, see if they can't pick something up. Fastball, Lau is late on it. Brandon Lau was a 3rd-round pick by the Rays in 2015 out of the University of Maryland. He grew up in Newport News, Virginia. And this year, he kind of had a breakout season with the power. Hit 22 home runs in the minors. But you can see all the young hitters on the bench trying to solve Estrada from afar. Marco has retired 6 in a row, just like his mound opponent, Blake Snell. Right off the end of the bat, you tell yourself, wait, 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 and you can't wait. Now, the numbers we talked about in 100 games in the minors this season, Lau has 22 home runs and 76 RBIs, big numbers. He's just 24 years old.
Looking for his first big league hit. 0 for 10. He's battled back. Back into the count now at 3-2.
Willie Adames is on deck. 3-2 pitch. Another changeup. He can't throw me a changeup 3-2. Oh, yes, he can. That's 4 strikeouts already for Estrada.
I don't know how many pitchers have the ability in the minor leagues to throw that many changeups and to throw it 3-2 to the leadoff batter of an inning. Marco throws it again. He's got so much confidence in that changeup. And when you've got the Tampa Bay Rays swinging through it, that's a great sign.
First pitch curveball for a strike. Willie Adames is 22 years old. This is his first season in the majors. He came to Tampa Bay in the David Price deal. That was back in 2014. It was a July 31st trade, 3-team trade. Detroit, Seattle, and Tampa Bay.
And they had to wait for him. He had to develop, and this is his first taste of the big leagues this season. He's got some tools. He's got some pop in that bat, free swinger. He's only walked 10 times this year and 141 at bats. But when he hits it, he's got some power.
Two and two now. Estrada with 4 strikeouts. Off the end of the bat.
You know, I mentioned that it's a good thing when you have the Tampa Bay Rays swinging through that changeup. They've been tough on Marco over the years because it seems like they sit on his changeup and they wait for it, look for it. That's Chad Mottola, the hitting coach who used to be at the Blue Jays. He knows all about Marco Estrada. But when they're swinging through it like that, that's a good sign. I think he has to combat that, throw enough fastballs to keep him honest.
There's a high fastball. So now at 89 miles an hour, Adames is thinking, okay, I was a little bit late on that, and that's when the changeup really becomes effective.
Yeah, you think, okay, I got to start my swing to catch up to that fastball. That's when you drop the changeup.
He takes it. That's the first base runner of the ball game. Comes with one out here in the third.
The 2018 Honda CR-V, where style and versatility come together.
Beautiful early evening here in Toronto. Center Island across the way. The roof is wide open, and it's a spectacular night. There goes the runner. Bailey's throw is high, and Adames is in there safely with his third stolen base. This team is not going to outslug you, but they're going to be aggressive and take their chances.
They've only hit 105 home runs, and gives credit right now on this stolen base by Kevin Cash. I think he's made up his mind. When he sees all those changeups, he's going to turn his base runners loose.
The batter is the catcher, Michael Perez. Changeup in the dirt. Bottom to strike to Perez. Perez picked up this season in a trade from the Arizona Diamondbacks. July 25th, Matt Andres went to Arizona in exchange for this young catcher. Perez is 26 years old.
Known as a pretty good defensive catcher.
Estrada didn't get the call. It's ball two outside. Jesus Sucre, the other catcher, currently with this ball club. They traded Wilson Ramos at the end of the trade deadline, July 31st. They traded him to Philadelphia for a player to be named later.
I hope he's a good player, because Wilson Ramos is a pretty good player.
Yeah, he's a good offensive player. He's dealing with a hamstring injury, and Kevin Cash just felt like, well, you know what? We've traded all these veteran players. Let's see if we can't get younger and a little bit better defensively. Two balls and two strikes. No score in the game. We're in the top of the third inning. Hit in the air. Urania will go over and give it a look, but it's over the Blue Jays dugout, out of play. Perez is from Catania, Puerto Rico. And how many good catchers have we seen from Puerto Rico? Go back to Benny Santiago, Pudge Rodriguez, the Hall of Famer, the Molina family, Sandy Alomar Sr.
It's Pudge from Puerto Rico, right?
Yeah.
Pudge Rodriguez, he's pretty good.
2-2. Hit in the air down the right side. Randall Grichuk over, and it's going to be out of play. He's a happy fan. Got a souvenir from Randall. Grichuk's played terrific in right field.
He's played great defense in the outfield. Hasn't made an error this year. Very fundamentally sound in the outfield. Gets good breaks, throws to the right base.
Ball is ripped. That's going to be over the head and gone for Perez. Michael Perez, his first big league home run. Comes on a hanging breaking ball. He hit it on the line. It was up. And he goes deep for his first big league homer.
He had some good swings at bat. He fouled a ball down the third base line, fouled a ball down the right field line. Got a pitch to his liking, a pitch that was up and connects on the line to right field. Tampa Bay draws first blood. Here's the pitch. Curveball. That was a good pitch for Marco in his last outing in Seattle. Picked up a few strikeouts using the curveball. That time it was up. 2-0.
2-0 Tampa Bay. Back to the top of the order, Alex Smith. He struck out his first time up. Another look at the swing by Perez.
That's under control.
2-0 now to the leadoff hitter.
They don't hit a lot of home runs. Only the Tigers, Marlins, and Royals have hit fewer home runs than the Rays this year in Major League Baseball. That one was a line drive that just got out.
Perez has 2 doubles, and now he has a Major League home run to his credit. Fastball fouled off. Perez in the minors had a little bit of power. 2013 with Arizona in the minors, he hit 7 home runs. He hit 10 home runs in 2012. For his career over the span of 8 seasons in the minors, he had 48 home runs. But certainly he wouldn't be considered a power hitter.
No, I wouldn't say that, but a hanging breaking ball, Major League hitters can hit that. Alex Smith is making life tough right now for Marco Estrada. He struck out his first time up swinging at a changeup.
This time he lays off that changeup. It's a full count to Smith. Estrada has thrown 54 pitches already in this game. Choi Wendell is on deck. Just 1 out. Fouled out of play. Tampa Bay has won 5 of the 6 games these two teams have played this season. And for whatever reason, Kevin Cash and the Rays have always given the Blue Jays fits, no matter where they play.
Yeah, no matter what type of team that they have. They had some playoff teams a while back. This is a team that comes to play every day. You get that with young teams. They want to prove that they belong in the major leagues. This season, Tampa Bay has owned the Blue Jays.
All time, Tampa Bay has the edge as well.
The only win this year for the Blue Jays was a Marco Estrada start.
He did not get the decision in that win. Alex Smith having another tough at bat. Changeup for ball 4, second walk of the inning.
I remember what happened the first time Adames was on base. First pitch, he went on a changeup. This is their best base stealer over at first base. You're going to have to keep him close.
Smith has 25 stolen bases. He's been caught 8 times, but he's probably looking to run right here. 1 out. Choi Wendell at the plate. He flied out to center field his first time up. Big lead for Smith. And Estrada chases him back to the bag.
He looks like he wants to run, and you have to have a batter who's not afraid to take a strike. See if the Blue Jays put something on. Looks like it's going to be another changeup, a good pitch to run on.
Fly ball. Pilar is on the run. He's calling for it in the alley. He makes the catch. Smith heads back to first base as Wendell makes the second out of the inning. So Pilar, although he was playing shallow, got a good jump on it and runs it down in left center. Jake Bauers, he struck out on a changeup to end the top of the first. There goes Smith. It's bunted up the third baseline, and that's going to go foul. Well, you would think Bauers would like to have a do-over on that one, because when Smith had a heck of a jump at first base.
Yeah, and that bunt doesn't do anything right there. I'm sure Kevin Cash isn't real happy about that. They might have to have a talk about that. One, you could have let him try and steal. That's number one. And it looked like he was going to make it. He had a huge jump. 2, bunting doesn't do anything. You're there to drive in some runs with 2 outs.
Number 3 hitter. There goes Smith again. This is a pop-up on the infield. Diaz, the shortstop, calls for it. And the inning is over. Bowers is retired. Willie Adames, the 8-hitter, drew a 1-out walk, and then Michael Perez hits his first big league home run. He gets a high curveball from Estrada and gives Tampa Bay a 2-0 lead.
App. Access and manage your tickets, enjoy check-in offers, exclusive content, and much more. Download the MLB Ballpark app today.
Great opportunity to get that app and help yourself enjoy the experience of coming to Rogers Center, taking a ball game. For the Blue Jays, it'll be Maile, Urania, and Pilar, bottom third of the order. Blake Snell, the Rays starter, has retired 6 in a row to start this game. Changeup at 87.
On top of having really good stuff, Blake Snell. Good fastball, good changeup, good curveball. He creates a very tough angle for hitters to hit. He's got one of those throw across your body type of deliveries where he steps like he's stepping towards the first base dugout and creates that angle with his arm. Very tough to pick the ball up. Then you add to it that he's got great stuff. Here's what I'm talking about. Watch him step across his body, and all of a sudden here comes the baseball out of his hand. If he learns to pitch inside with his fastball or develops a cutter to go along with everything else, he's going to be unhittable.
1 out here in the third. Let's check in with Jamie Campbell. He's got an update for us. Wow. Is it that easy, Pat?
No. No, it's not that easy. Even if you were 22 or 23 years old, it wouldn't be that easy.
A 2-out home run in the first inning. His 3rd home run in AAA.
It's a teenager.
Yeah. As we mentioned last night, he's 7.5 years younger than the average player in the International League. And you can see everybody is aware of Vladdy Guerrero Jr. Richard Urania, he's a switch hitter, takes one inside. 2-1. Urania has hit a home run. He hit a home run against the Mets at Citi Field during interleague play. 278 average for the season. 5 for 18 for Urania. Popped up. Jake Bauers over near the seats. He's got room. He makes the catch. 8 in a row retired by Snell.
I think the Blue Jays are going to have to start picking out one pitch and sitting on it right now. He's got all 3 of his pitches working: fastball, curveball, and changeup. And I think you should just start looking for one pitch. If you start looking for all of them, he's going to cross you up.
Snell has yielded 2 runs or fewer in 17 starts. This is his 22nd start of his season. That's tied for the second most such starts in the American League, behind Justin Verlander, who has 18. He's pitched himself into some pretty elite company. Kevin Pillar, get up, ball. This ball is going to hang up. It's on the warning track as Malik Smith makes the catch. First time through the order, Blue Jays don't get a base runner against Blake Snell. Tampa Bay with a 2-0 lead.
This is the end. It's been a wonderful ride. Gibbons still kept his sense of humor, Buck, saying, quote, sometimes the rumors are true. At least one other time it was accurate.
Well, I can relate to that. I went through the same type of experience when they were talking about the firing for me in 2002. It's not a pleasant feeling.
No.
And I don't understand why everybody needs to be talking about it. You know what? The Blue Jays, when they want to make a managerial change, they'll make a managerial change. And I don't think that it should be a sport to hash over the future of John Gibbons day in and day out.
He's the manager of the Blue Jays, and it makes no sense speculating about anything.
I mean, what do you want to do? Be the first guy that reported it? I mean, if they're going to make a change, they'll make a change. John knows the reality of it. He's been fired before. And it's professional sports. It's about winning.
It's about winning.
G-Man Choi. He goes after it and foul tips it into the mitt of Maley. It's 2-2 to leadoff man here.
Really has him guessing on that fastball or changeup. He hasn't come up with a changeup yet.
There's a changeup. Choi has struck out both times he's faced Estrada. That's 5 strikeouts for Marco.
Hurry in to earn 3 times the Aeroplan miles on everything in store and online from August 8th to 11th. Only at Home Hardware. Here's how.
The Rays are in town. The Tampa Bay Rays. First time they've come to Rogers Center this season. It's really interesting that it has been so long, and Blue Jays They will go down late in the season to Tampa Bay. They'll play the final series of the year in Tampa Bay in September.
Yeah, they're in our division, and this is the first time that they've come to our place. We've been down there a couple of times already this year.
Carlos Gomez hits that one and squibs it toward Smoke. He steps on the bag, 2 away.
I'll tell you, Marco Estrada can be very tantalizing if you're hitting. He throws that ball and it almost disappears, and he swings, and there's you don't even know where the ball goes sometimes. Carlos Gomez had no idea where this ball was. Change up, hits it off the end of the bat. Watch Gomez think it's a pop-up over the dugout.
Yeah, he's looking for it, can't find it, and realizes he's hit on the end of the bat to the first baseman. Kevin Kiermaier takes a first pitch strike.
Frustrating. I have played games where pitchers like that, and it can be very tough. I've had guys screaming at the pitcher, throw a fastball. When are you going to challenge me? But you know what? They just sit out there and laugh. Hey,
yeah,
I've given up 1 hit.
Kiermaier hits it past Devin Travis. It looked like Devin dove over that ball and went underneath his glove into right field. That's the second hit for Tampa Bay. Just the second hit in this ball game. A 2-out single for Kiermaier.
Looked like another changeup, and he had him out in front. Devin was reacting like it was a changeup, and he was leaning to his left and then had to go back to his right. Second baseman, shortstops can look in there and see the sign and try and get a jump on the ball. That time it crossed him up.
2 outs. Brandon Lau, that'll be it. Lau hits it right to Smoke. That'll end the inning. So the 2-out single by Kiermaier is stranded on base. Will go to the bottom of the 4th. Blake Snell and the Rays have a 2-0 lead.
Trying to get a jump on the baseball, and for a second baseman, watch Devin Travis. He's going to, with 2 strikes, move over. He gets the sign from Marco Estrada. Sometimes it backfires on you. He's going to move over, and then on the pitch he takes 1-2 steps, and then the ball is hit back to his right, and he can't come up with the play. But it's about anticipating, getting ready for a pitch and trying to get the jump on it. 9 times out of 10 you're going to take away a hit by playing like that.
Yeah, he saw the changeup sign and anticipated the ball being hit to his glove side. That's why you make that step. And you're right, when the ball comes off the bat at 100 miles an hour, you better be in the right position to make the play. At that time, Kiermaier crossed him up. Top of the order for the Blue Jays. They are looking for their first base runner. First time through the order, Blake Snell has 4 strikeouts. Snell was the third pitcher to pitch for the American League in the All-Star game in Washington. Chris Sales started. Luis Severino pitched second, and then Snell came in. First pitch he threw to Wilson Contreras. Contreras hit it out of the ballpark. A very rude welcome for the first-time All-Star. Snell with another strikeout. Perez will go to first to complete the strikeout. Now Blake Snell just getting his feet on the ground in the big leagues. Over the last 3 seasons, you can see how he has gotten more confident and better with his command, and the opponent's batting average has improved with each season.
He was drafted in 2011 as a supplemental pick out of high school, so it's taken him some time to get to the big leagues, refine his delivery, refine his stuff, but he's getting better, and you can see this year he has put it all together. I find that interesting. You said the first 3 pitchers in the All-Star game, Chris Sale, Severino, and Blake Snell. American League East? They always talk about great hitting in the American League East. How about 3 best pitchers this season in this division?
Yeah, we mentioned that Snell's first pitch was to the number 9 hitter, Wilson Contreras. He hit the home run out of the ballpark. But then Snell settled down. He would strike out Nolan Arenado, Matt Kemp, and Bryce Harper in his inning and 2/3. Devin Travis fouls back that high heater. But I tell you what, this is some impressive stuff we've seen so far in this ball game.
You don't find too many left-handed pitchers or starters who throw this hard that have this type of breaking ball.
Snell didn't get the call on that fastball, down and away. Snell's 25 years old. He'll turn 26 in December. Grew up in Seattle, Washington. 52nd pick overall in the 2011 draft. Ground ball, big hop for the shortstop, Adames. 2 away.
That's really interesting that you mentioned that 2011 draft for the Tampa Bay Rays. Look, they had 10 picks in the first 60 that season. And really the only one who has come through and has helped the major league team is Blake Snell. That shows you the type of crapshoot it is in the draft.
The Blue Jays have one of those first-round picks in their minor league system right now. Taylor Guerreri was taken with the 24th pick by Tampa Bay. There's some good players in that draft.
There's some good players that a lot of teams passed on that ended up going later in the draft. How about Jackie Bradley Jr., 40th overall to the Boston Red Sox. Michael Fulmer went to the Mets at 44. Trevor Story, 45. I mean, guys, those aren't first-round draft picks.
There was a young player, a second baseman, Corey Spangenberger, and he was taken by the Padres, and just a lot of different names in that draft. And Archie Bradley was in that draft.
Check out the 5th round for the Boston Red Sox. At 172, we just saw him. He just hit for the cycle.
Mookie Betts, a 5th rounder.
How about that? And the Tampa Bay Rays had 10 picks in the first 60.
Changeup. Another ground ball, and Adames lays back on it and makes a bad throw, but he's helped out by the first baseman. Jake Bowers comes off the base to tag out Smoke. Blue Jays looking for their first base runner against Blake Snell. Now time for a Blue Jays Central update. Here's Jamie Campbell and Joe Siddle in the Samsung broadcast studio.
Tomorrow, 7 p.m. Eastern. Join us as we celebrate back-to-back World Series championships and celebrate Blue Jays heroes of the past. The first 20,000 fans will receive this Alomar, Molitor, and Olerud triple bobblehead. Arrive early for the pregame ceremony. Get your tickets if you haven't gotten them yet at BlueJays.com.
Boy, what a great bobblehead that is. Those three hitters hit first, second, and third in the American League that season. John Olerud hit 363. Paul Molitor hit 332, and Robbie Alomar hit 326. And oh, just for good measure, Tony Fernandez hit 306.
Oh, wow.
What a lineup. Whamco. And they could swing it.
You were a catcher. How would you have pitched to that team?
Very carefully.
Very carefully is right.
Kevin Pillar looking up, and this ball is off the fence. Willie Adames hits one high off the fence in center field. He's got some pop in that bat. He has walked, scored, and now he has hit a leadoff double here in the fifth.
He's also thrown in a stolen base tonight. He's got some power. Catches that pitch out front and hits it a long way. Pillar did the right thing. He knew he wasn't going to catch that ball, so he turns, catches it off the wall, and gets it back in. Leadoff double for Adames.
Adames with 3 doubles now. He's got 5 home runs, and he's just 22 years old. Michael Perez wants another shot at Estrada. He homered in the third, and Estrada calls out Luke Maile. Having a conversation, and we all know Estrada doesn't shake off pitches, but he wanted to talk about something with Luke Maile.
I wonder if it has to do with the signs. They got a runner at second base. They will pick certain innings and change up their signs frequently.
Adames was at second base when Perez hit the home run. Hits this ball in the air, not deep. Adames is going back to tag at second. Grichuk is setting up for the throw. Here's the throw toward third. It's offline.
Super Slow-Mo Cam. Brought to you by Samsung Galaxy S9 and S9 Plus. The camera reimagined. Available now.
Tampa Bay has a 2-0 lead as they bat here in the fifth inning, and you can see the infield already in at the edge of the turf. Mallex Smith, the leadoff man, he has struck out and walked. Adames moved from second to third on the flyout by Perez.
He's liable to do anything, Mallex Smith.
He gets a base hit, and that's got a chance to go between the outfielders all the way to the fence. Mallex Smith is on his horse around second. He's headed for third. He'll get there with a head first slide. Smith with the triple. And the Rays have a 4-0 lead.
With his speed and his ability to handle the bat, they could go a couple of different ways. They could try and squeeze him in, but they let him swing early in the count, and he splits the outfielders to left field. They were playing him around that way, but with his great speed, and they were shallow, when it got by him, he can outrun the baseball for his 9th triple.
That ties him with Yomer Sanchez of the White Sox for the lead in the American League. It's 3-0 Tampa Bay. Infield again drawn in. Choi Wendell has flied out twice to center field. Ketel Marte of the Diamondbacks leads the majors. He has 10 triples. Fly ball down the left side. That's slicing into foul ground and will bounce safely in foul territory. Thomas Pannone just called up yesterday. He has not appeared in a game. He has started down in the minors, so they have given him plenty of an opportunity to get loose. We're in the fifth inning, and Estrada finds himself trailing 3-0. Breaking ball pulled down the right side.
Wendell's had 2 good at-bats against Marco Estrada tonight. 2 long fly balls to center field. Marco's got to get one of those patented pop-ups right here. Change up, maybe you catch him out in front and he pops the ball up in the infield to keep that runner over at third base.
Line drive to left. Smith tagging up. Hernandez's throw is not in time. So Joey Wendell drives in the 4th run of the game with a sac fly to left field as Smith slides in safely.
And Joey Wendell can thank the speed of Malik Smith who got him that. He was unsure, Smith, at third base on that ball. Watch him. Late tagging up, then slips over the base, but still scores really without a play because he's got great speed. When you're tagging up from third base, you want to use that bag as like a starting block and put your foot on the front of it and push off of it like a track player. He put it on top of the base and slipped off of it.
Yeah, he was in between as to whether or not that was going to be caught. He thought maybe it was going to be a line drive in front of Hernandez. This is the first baseman, Jake Bowers. Bowers is 0 for 2. Ball and a strike. One hopper to Travis from the outfield. He throws the first, and that'll end the inning. But Tampa Bay scores 2 in the top of the 5th. RBI triple and a sac fly. They take a 4-0 lead. Blake Snell hasn't allowed a base runner. Baltimore to take on the Orioles. The second game of their doubleheader. It all starts at 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific time on Sportsnet 1 and Sportsnet Now. Well, they're having quite a start to their game. Boston scored 3 runs in the top of the first tonight. The Orioles came back with 4 runs in the bottom of the second. They've added a run in the third, and they have a 5-3 lead. Dylan Bundy and Nathan Eovaldi, the starting pitchers in that game, and they've both been hit around a bit. Blake Snell hasn't been hit around. The Blue Jays don't have a base runner yet. He's retried 12 in a row to start this game. Teoscar Hernandez, a strikeout victim in the second. Blue Jays have just been battling against Snell. He's thrown that great breaking ball and has been a source of some of these strikeouts, but his fastball's been up to 98.
Yes, and he's got the great breaking ball. He's been able to use his fastball very effectively down in the strike zone for strike one against Hernandez and now up in the strike zone, so that means curveball coming.
Hernandez goes around. Another hard breaking ball. Tony Randazzo down at first base rings him for the swing. 6 strikeouts now for Snell.
That has been the way he pitches. After the high fastball, here comes that hard breaking ball again. It's not in the strike zone, but too tough to lay off as Teoscar tries to check his swing, but goes around. Another strikeout. That's 6 already.
Blue Jays are aware of that great fastball. They got to get that bat going. Off the glove of Snell. Morales doesn't have much speed, and he is thrown out. Adames comes from a shortstop to make the play. Snell got a glove on it, knocked it down, and because Morales was the base runner, they had time to throw him out.
Slowed it down right back through the middle with that first pitch hitting against the fastball. Adames, he understands. Can take his time, gloves it, and fires over to first base in time to get the out. They came out here early today, the Tampa Bay Rays, and the first thing they did, they took infield practice.
Edmus Diaz hits a high fly ball to center field. Another quick inning for Blake Snell. Another 5-pitch inning for the lefty. Get ready for a refined travel experience. Visit 787.westjet.com to see the whole story. Exciting times at WestJet. Pretty good crowd on hand here for the first of 3 against Tampa Bay. The Rays have a 4-0 lead. They have scored 4 runs on 4 hits.
That place will be jamming tomorrow, I bet, when the alumni are in.
Yeah.
Tomorrow.
It should be a good time to see all those former Blue Jays. 92-93 World Series teams will be together, and they've got that bobblehead they're going to give away.
25 former players and coaches going to be in the house tomorrow.
Including Mr. Pat Tabler. He was part of that, of course.
I'm going to be here because I have to work.
Yeah, it'd be a fun time. It'd be great to see all those great players, and what a time it was for the Blue Jays. The Blue Jays obviously are anxious to get back to those winning ways. G-Man Choi. He just can't solve that changeup.
No, every time he looks for the fastball, Marco crosses him up and throws the changeup, and he can't wait long enough. Can't wait back long enough.
There's a high fly ball to right, and this ball is up and gonna go. G-Man Choi hits his 5th home run of the season. 2nd home run for Tampa Bay.
Well, he finally got his fastball right there. it was up and in, and Choi's got some power. In the minor leagues, he had a big home run season when he was down there. He turned on that one to make it 5-0. They wanted that up and away, and it's up and in. And so he just gets a little bit quicker to the ball.
They pulled that all the way to the inside part of the plate. Laid off home run here in the 6th.
The Rays, again, don't hit that many home runs, but that's their second one tonight. 107 on the season.
G-Man Choi has bounced around a bit. He came in a trade from Milwaukee for Choi. That's his 12th big league home run. He had 5 in his first season with the Angels back in 2016 and just 112 at-bats. He's had time with the Angels, the Yankees, the Brewers, and now Tampa Bay. Carlos Gomez strikes out. That's the first out of the top half of the 6th. John Gibbons, the manager, has called to the bullpen Marco Estrada. He'll get 1 out here in the 6th. He goes 5 1/3. He gives up just 5 hits, but 2 of those hits are home runs, a 2-run homer and a solo shot. So Estrada is out, and the left-hander Thomas Pannone will make his first big league appearance, coming in to face Kevin Kiermaier. Man he had in his previous start out in Seattle, but I think that finger might have been bothering him. He lasts just 5 1/3, charged with 5 earned runs on just 5 hits, walked 2 and struck out 6. He gave up a couple of home runs. The first major league home run to Michael Perez, and G-Man Choi hit a solo home run here to lead off the 6th. And how about this? A major league debut for Thomas Pannone.
Just recalled yesterday from AAA Buffalo. There are the numbers in 8 starts. He had to serve a suspension, and that's why he's only had 9 starts this year. ERA just over 5. Fastball, curveball, changeup. They got him from the Cleveland Indians in the Joe Smith trade last year at the deadline.
Breaking ball cut on and missed by Kiermaier. Another fastball, 89 miles an hour. Pannone is the 172nd player to make his major league debut this season. Lots of new faces on the scenes across the big leagues. Strike 3 call. Welcome to the big leagues, Thomas Pannone. You've got a strikeout in the books.
You just never know how a young player is going to react when he comes to the big leagues. Is he going to be in awe? Is he going to try too hard against big league hitters? Thomas Pannone looks like he's under control.
Now, of course, Pannone went through that 80-game suspension for a failed drug test. So it has been a trying season for him, to be sure. He now has a big league record. He's got a strikeout. Brandon Lau, the second baseman.
Love to see young players come up here and act like they've been here before. Under control. Not trying to do too much. What do they call that? Stay in your lanes? That was a great sequence to Kiermaier.
Ground ball, Devin Travis to his left. Pannone comes in and gets the two batters here in the sixth to end the inning. Thomas Pannone making his major league debut in relief of Marco Estrada. The pitching line on Bryce Snell, and you wonder why we're showing you a pitching line after 5 innings, because he is out of the game. He's thrown just 47 pitches, and he threw a perfect game for 5 innings. Didn't walk about it. Blue Jays didn't get a base runner. They didn't get a base hit. He struck out 6. But because he's making just his second appearance since coming off the DL, they're going to be very conservative with him, and Jake Perea will take over.
Left shoulder fatigue landed him on the disabled list, and he was on a pitch count, and they don't want to push it. They want to build him up, so he is out. Blake Snell and Jake Perea is in. It's another hard-throwing young pitcher in the Tampa Bay Rays system. He's been up a little bit last year with them. In fact, he pitched for the Rays last year in 16 games for them last year, 11 more this season. Good fastball, a nice little curveball, and a split change.
I tell you what, he could be Corey Kluber right now, and the Blue Jays are happy to see him after the way Blake Snell started this ball game. Anybody but Snell. Might have been off the plate inside, but it's a ball and a strike to Maile. Five to nothing Tampa Bay. Breaking ball for ball 2.
When you have a pitcher have the ability to throw 3 pitches, all of them above average, I think, in terms of velocity and stuff, and you can throw them at any time.
Little roller up the third base line. Bounce down, not in time. Luke Maile. They told you it didn't take long for the Blue Jays to feel better about themselves at the plate. The first batter gets the first hit for the Blue Jays against Jake Perea.
And it's an infield hit from the former Ray Luke Maile. When you got a pitcher throwing 3 pitches with above average stuff, all for strikes, it's almost unhittable, and it was tonight. So you get him out of the game, and the guy behind him, he's not going to be that good. He can't be that dominant. So it's going to look a lot nicer. This ball bounced over to first base by the third baseman Wendell, and that allows Luke to beat it out.
Richard Urania. Urania popped out to the first baseman, his only time up.
It's a nice little cutter right there, right in on the hands of Urania at 92.
He waves at that breaking ball and strikes out. That's the first out, bottom of the 6th.
The 2018 Civic Type R, like no Honda you've ever seen.
First game of the 3-game series against the Tampa Bay Rays, and the Rays have a 5-0 lead. Blue Jays have just 1 hit. There was a little roller up the third base line to start this inning off the bat of Luke Maile. Kevin Pillar thought that was inside. Good block by Perez, and that's what we were told. Fundamentally sound behind the plate. And that was a textbook block by the catcher.
When you've got all these young pitchers that are going to be coming up to this team or have been here, you've got to have a good backstop. That's textbook right there, just to keep the ball in front of you. You're not trying to catch it. You're just trying to block it and keep it in front of you so that runner doesn't move up. Jake Faria was in the minor leagues a little bit last year. Mentioned that he had some starts in the big leagues with this team, but last year when he was in Durham, he spent the time, his pitching coach was Kyle Snyder, who's the pitching coach here, and he really wanted him to use his lower half and get that lower half into it. And he says it's really helped him to pick up a little bit more velocity. Just little suggestions like that from your pitching coach can help you and just polish off your development as a player.
Faria spent some time on the DL with a left oblique strain. He was reinstated on August 1st. He appeared in that game against the Angels first day back. Two-two to Pillar. Pops it up behind home plate over the screen and out of play.
Pitching coaches with young pitchers, they're always thinking, they're always working. That's a great shot right there of Kevin Cash and the pitching coach Kyle Snyder talking about their young pitcher, going over the charts. Cash was a major league catcher.
And a very good catcher. Had a chance to have him in spring training as a young catcher coming to the Blue Jays system. Pillar fights it off to stay alive. We talk about all of the changes for the Rays as far as their playing personnel. They've also made some changes in their coaching staff since last year. There's only 2 coaches in the same position they held last year. Chad Mottola back as the hitting coach and bullpen coach Stan Borowski. Other than that, they have switched things up quite a bit. They've got a new third base coach. Kyle Snyder's in his first season as the pitching coach. Ozzie Timmons at first base. A lot of changes on the coaching staff as well. 2-2 to Pilar. Breaking ball, he strikes out. So Faria gives up an infield single and strikes out the next 2 batters. That'll turn the lineup over.
He's got a couple of ways to strike you out with a curveball or a split grip type of changeup. That time it got some nice tumbling action towards the plate. Looked like a breaking ball. That had Pilar's timing messed up.
Faria is just 25 years old. Another young arm down in their bullpen. The shift is on for Randall Grichuk.
Well, you said down in the bullpen. He's coming out of the bullpen tonight, but this is a team you don't know who's a starter or who's a bullpen guy. They've done some interesting things this year trying to cover up some of the injuries that they've had to their pitching staff. They got a rash of injuries in spring training and lost a lot of starters, so they're experimenting with relief pitchers starting games.
Nathan Eovaldi, who is now pitching for the Red Sox, had bone chips taken out of his elbow at the end of March, so he started out the season on the DL. Brent Honeywell was lost to Tommy John surgery in spring training. He was penciled in to be a starter in this rotation. So the opener was basically a product of injuries, and they were forced to use relief pitchers as opening pitchers. 2-0 to Grichuk. Line drive, that's going to get down. Smith cuts it off. Bailey's headed for third. Grichuk's headed for second. He better hurry. And he is out. Randall Grichuk gets tagged out at second, trying to beat the throw. Good play by Malik Smith in left field. Grichuk gets a single, trying to stretch it into a double. Smith makes a nice throw and throws him out by a wide margin.
Returns on Sportsnet. Catch the world's biggest stars as they compete for the prestigious Premier League title. The Premier League returns tomorrow on Sportsnet and Sportsnet World.
Another great sport added to the Sportsnet rundown. And a lot of Blue Jay fans here tonight anxious for a comeback. Blue Jays haven't been able to solve the Rays this season. Tampa Bay has won 5 of the first 6 games they have played, and they have a 5-0 lead here in the 7th. Thomas Pannone, with his first big league appearance under his belt, came in and struck out Kevin Kiermaier, the first batter he faced, and got Brandon Lowe to ground out. Willie Adames takes a strike. Ball and a strike.
Just 90 miles an hour, or 92, he could hit that, and a good curveball. He was telling us the other day he's not throwing a cutter or a slider. They don't want to develop that right now. He's got a good looking breaking ball for a left-hander out of the bullpen.
2-1. Good changeup. 83 miles an hour. Full countdown. Adames fouls it off to stay alive. Adames has walked and scored and hit a double and scored. He is officially 1 for 1. Also added a stolen base, his third stolen base. Ground ball in the hole, through for a base hit for Adames. A leadoff single. Drive of the game brought to you by the 2018 Honda Odyssey. With available Honda Vac, it always bats cleanup.
Marco Estrada set down the first 10 batters he faced, and after a walk, breaking ball to Michael Perez, and this is his first big league home run. 99 miles an hour, just scrapes over the wall at 364 for his first big league home run, and tonight's drive of the game. That gave the Tampa Bay Rays a 2-0 lead in the third inning.
We mentioned Perez came to Tampa Bay in a trade from Arizona. And you can bet he had a chance to go to spring training with the Diamondbacks and was exposed to Jeff Mathis, who's one of the best defensive catchers in all of baseball and has been for a long time. That trade took place on July 25th. The Rays sent Matt Andrews to Arizona in exchange for Michael Perez. Makes a pretty good hack at that pitch and fouls it into the seats.
Nice little simple delivery from Pannone. Good mechanics. That should help him to throw a lot of strikes. Pitched a little bit in Dunedin this year, New Hampshire, and then Buffalo. Coming back from that suspension, Joe Biagini now warming.
Another throw to first. Adames had that stolen base after he walked in the third inning. He was at second when Perez hit the home run. He is 3 for 5 in steal attempts.
Pretty good lead over there at first base also.
Breaking ball pulled through the right side for a base hit. Perez has his second hit of the night. He's 2 for 3. So the 8 and 9 hitters, they have been on base 5 times tonight.
They've already scored 3 runs. Breaking ball, same type of pitch that he hit out for that home run, a high breaking ball. This time he squirts it through the right side for a base hit. Now the Blue Jays are talking about what they want to do defensively now in case Mallex Smith lays down a sacrifice.
So Smith hit an RBI triple back in the 5th. It was his 9th triple of the season. That ties him for the lead in the American League. He squares to bunt and takes a breaking ball for a strike. Blue Jays have just 2 hits so far tonight. Tampa Bay has 5 runs on 7 hits. Smith squares and bunts it back to the pitcher's mound. Pannone throws to first. A sacrifice executed to perfection by Smith.
You'd like to bunt that ball and make one of the corner infielders field the ball, but the runner at second base, Adames, got a great read on it and a great break. When they square around to bunt, you got to get it out. Blue Jays played it right, getting the route out over at first base.
So the infield once again plays it in. Got to try to save these runs. Joey Wendell has hit 3 balls to the outfield. The last time in the 5th, they got a sac fly. First pitch breaking ball from Pannone. Back-to-back singles to start this inning. Then the sacrifice bunt by Alex Smith. They're blocked by Maley.
It looks like Adames is going to want to go on the ground. He's the runner at third base. So Urania, who's never played third base before, is trying to hold him on and then come off on the pitch. Adames is getting an aggressive lead once Urania leaves him. You can fake back, just try to get him to freeze, but it looks like he wants to go on contact.
Another ball hit in the air to left field, and that's going to get down over the head of Hernandez up against the wall. Adames is in to score. Here comes Perez right behind him. He's going to score. And Joey Wendell has a 3 RBI night. For Wendell, the 3 RBIs pushes him up to 37 for the season. And Tampa Bay has a 7-0 lead.
You want a guy in that number 2 spot who can produce and make contact with the runner at third base. Stay in there against the left-hander. That's what Wendell does, slapping that ball the other way for a couple of runs. 7 runs now on 8 hits for Tampa.
Nick Bowers, another left-handed hitter. Wendell hitting 300 before that base hit against left-handed pitcher. He hangs in there tough against the southpaws. Foul back by Jake Bowers, the first baseman. Breaking ball for the strikeout. Second out of the inning. Second strikeout for Pannone. Now G-Man Choi, another lefty batter, will step in with 2 outs. Choi is 1 for 3 so far in this game. He homered his last time up in the 6th. That was against Marco Estrada.
That's his 5th home run and just over 80 at bats this year.
Well, he was totally baffled in his first 2 at bats by the Estrada changeup, and then Marco missed with the fastball, and Choi hit over the fence in right.
His 4th at bat, 2nd in 2 innings. He gets the lefty now.
Ball on a strike to G-Man Choi. Alex Smith delivering the sacrifice bunt. When you get your 8 and 9 hitters to single to start the inning, you got to take advantage of it, and the Rays have.
They have come through with the infield in tonight. Tampa Bay just make hitting so much easier when you see those infielders in on the grass.
Joey Wendell had a sac fly in the 5th and a 2-run double here in the 7th. Pretty good looking pitch. It's called the ball. It's 2-2 now. We saw Chad Mottola and Kevin Kiermaier on the bench discussing what they've seen from Pannone so far. First big league game for Thomas Pannone. Strike 3 call. Pannone gets Choi looking at a fastball. A couple of strikeouts in the inning, but Tampa Bay scores 2 runs on 3 hits in the 7th to take a 7-0 lead.
Times. Now, Smoke finished with 38 homers and admitted to me that he was maybe trying a little too hard to get to 40. Quote, I just got out of whack a little bit. Now it's just about not trying to do too much and being ready to hit. The game plan, waiting for a ball to drive as opposed to just running into one. When you're in that mindset, it allows you to lay off with the tougher pitches and allows you not to foul off as many balls. So with 7 weeks to go, Buck, he told me his focus, staying competitive and putting up good at-bats.
Yeah, and that's all you can ask for, is just make sure you don't give any at-bats away during the course of a season, especially winding down a season. You want to finish up on a high note, that's for sure. It'll be Devin Travis, then Justin Smoke, and Teoscar Hernandez. The Blue Jays have 2 hits, a couple of singles. Jake Faria in his 2nd inning of relief. Blake Snell went 5 innings. Did not give up a hit, did not walk a batter. The Blue Jays didn't get a base runner against Snell, and he struck out 6.
Still throwing hard after 5 innings, but they got him out of there. They'll turn to the bullpen. They've got plenty of arms in that pen.
Kyle Snyder has been a pitching coach in the minors with many of these young pitchers, so he knows exactly what he's dealing with. On the left, that's Matt Katara, the 3rd base coach in his 1st season with Tampa Bay. That might have been that splitter, and Travis strikes out. 1 out. Let's check in with Jamie Campbell. Well, the Texas Rangers are hitting the ball out of the ballpark on a regular basis. They are really swinging the bats well here in the month of August.
I believe they are scoring and averaging the most runs in this month. There's another shift as the shortstop Adames has gone out into short right field.
Justin Smoke looking to extend his hit streak. He has hit in 13 straight. Hits this one in the air down the left side in the foul territory. And that's a nice play by the 3rd baseman, Joey Wendell.
This 4K broadcast is brought to you by the Samsung QLED TV. See nothing else.
Friday night in Toronto. And so far, it's all Tampa Bay. They lead it 7-0. They've out-hit the Blue Jays 8-2. And Tampa Bay has hit 2 home runs. Teoscar Hernandez has struck out both times he's come to the plate tonight. There's a fly ball to left field, not that deep. Mallex Smith comes in a couple of steps, waits for it, and the inning is over. Jake Faria has given up a single in 2 innings and has 3 strikeouts. Joe Biagini coming on for the Blue Jays. Of Rogers Blue Jays baseball partnership. It may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of Rogers Blue Jays baseball partnership. 7 in the books here at Rogers Center. Blake Snell was the starter. He went just 5 innings. He only threw 47 pitches, and most of them were pretty darn good. 5 innings, no hits, no base runners in walkabout, and he struck out 6. Joe Biagini will take over for Thomas Pannone here in the 8th.
Third pitcher of the night for the Blue Jays. 35th game of the season for Joe. His 31st out of the bullpen. He made 4 starts for the Jays earlier this season. Last 3 times out. 2 games against Seattle, 1 against Boston. They have scored against him. So John Gibbons runs it back out there.
Carlos Gomez can run across the diamond and smoke. What a play. That is such a tough play for a first baseman. The throw is offline. A big base runner is hustling up the line, and he's about to get to first base. Smoke just stepped into foul ground to make the catch.
What you have to do is you have to shift your feet, because you're going to have to stretch for the ball. Urania making that start over at third base. The ball gets away from him. Look how he able to shift his feet and step over towards the baseball. That's a dangerous play because of the base runner, but Smoke handles it nicely.
Boy, he certainly picked up Urania with that great play. Those are the subtleties of playing first that are easily overlooked. 1 out, Kevin Kiermaier. Hits it off the end of the bat. Urania will get another chance. This throw much more accurate. 2 away. I want to remind you that the Roger Cup is on now, and Rafael Nadal is currently playing on Sportsnet 1, so check that out. A terrific tournament. Now they have gotten past some of the bad weather delays they've had to deal with, and it's a great atmosphere, great tennis venue at York University. Brandon Lau, the second baseman. Lau has gone 0 for 3 with a strikeout. Biagini delivers a strike. Biagini has thrown nothing but strikes. He's only thrown 4 pitches, but they've all been strikes.
That's what you need to do coming out of the pen. There's the last 9 appearances. Have not been good. Been hurt by the long ball. Maybe you take some of those pitches away from him, the cutter and the sinker, and say, hey, let's go 4-seam fastball for a while and just place it and then use your curveball until we start throwing it a little bit more consistent for strikes.
Another ball off the end of the bat. Diaz hits short. Nice inning for Joe Biagini. Just 5 pitches, all strikes. 3 up, 3 down. We'll go to the bottom of the 8th. Blue Jays trail 7-0. Now time for a Blue Jays Central update. Here's Jamie Campbell and Kevin Barker in the Samsung broadcast studio. Guest from one of TD's community partners. Got a great vantage point there in the TD zone. Welcome to the ballpark. And how about that? Welcome to the ballpark to Juan Guzman. He was a big part of that Blue Jays run in 92 and 93. And Guzman will be here to participate in the celebration tomorrow.
Saw Goose around the hotel yesterday. Introduced me to his son and his daughter, and they are here for the festivities. Teams that are being honored. Wow, what an arm and what a find. Guzman, when he came to the big leagues with the Blue Jays, they stole him from the Dodgers.
He was traded to the Blue Jays for the late Mike Sharperson. And Sharperson was a infielder, and they got Juan Guzman. Nobody really knew a lot about Juan Guzman until he started to pitch. And I tell you what, he was a terrific pitcher. Had great stuff in the postseason. He went 5-1 in 8 starts with a .244 earned run average in the postseason.
In 91, he was our best pitcher, I thought.
91, he went 10-3 with a .299 earned run average. 92, he went 16-5 with a .264 earned run average. He was an all-star in 92. 93, he came back and was 14-3. He was a winner, just one of those guys that could win games. Finished second in the Rookie of the Year voting in 91. Finished second to Chuck Knobloch of the Twins.
We had a good team in 91. We won the division but got beat by Minnesota in the playoffs, and Guzman was our best pitcher.
Morales takes the leadoff walk here in the 8th.
Hurry in to earn 3 times the Aeroplan miles on everything in store and online from August 8th to 11th. Only at Home Hardware. Here's how.
8th inning, and the Rays have a 7-0 lead. Blue Jays only have 2 hits. They both came in the 6th inning, a couple of singles. Aledmus Diaz looks at that inside pitch. Diaz trying to extend his hit streak to 8 in a row. So far, he has grounded out and flied out.
And he can handle the bat. He's hit a couple of balls to right field in this nice little hot streak when they have pitched him away, but he loves that fastball.
Might have been a ball inside.
And it looked like he was trying to hit it to right field because of this. They are in the shift. StatCast AI is powered by AWS, and it shows that he likes to pull the ball. But with that gigantic hole on the right side of the infield, it looked like Diaz was taking a shot over there.
Well, without a doubt, the Blue Jays need some base runners. Got a long way to come back. It's 8th inning, and they trail by 7. Ground ball to third. Wendell the second, low throw, nice pick at second, but it's not in time. Wendell really handcuffed the second baseman, Brandon Lau, and all they can get is that force out at second.
2 balls that were thrown in the dirt. First by the third baseman, Wendell, picked at second base, and then the return throw picked at first base.
Lau just couldn't get a grip on it. You could see him struggling to come up with it cleanly out of his glove, and he one-hopped the first baseman. So Diaz is safe at first. Luke Maile got the first hit for the Blue Jays, the little dribbler up the third baseline. Fly ball to center. Kiermaier, he is very good out there. He turned and circled it and made the catch easily. 2 away.
You know, that's the one thing about this division. If you play in the American League East, it's blessed with so many great center fielders. Of course, we get the pleasure of watching Kevin Pillar every night. Here for Toronto, we just watched Boston and Jackie Bradley Jr. and Kevin Kiermaier. He's Gold Glove winner.
Yeah, there's some talented center fielders, and of course Adam Jones in Baltimore. He is the older of the center fielders in the East, but he can still cover a lot of ground.
Did he get moved to right field tonight? I thought I read somewhere that they were calling up a young player to play some center field. Buck Showalter talked about him when they were in town here. They said he could really play center field. Thought I read somewhere that Jonesy might be moving over to right.
Adam Jones is playing right field tonight. Cedric Mullins is in center field. Good catch. Yeah, they have had some dramatic turnover there in Baltimore, of course, with all their trades. Renato Nunez is playing third base. Jonathan Villar is playing second base. No Machado, no Scope. No Britton, no O'Day, no Brad Brock.
Total remake.
Isn't it interesting how quickly things turn around? In 2016, the Orioles and the Blue Jays are playing in a wild card game.
And now Baltimore, what have they won? 35 games?
Yeah, they have had a
35,
terrible season.
35 and 80. 2 years later.
Urania swings and misses. Let me ask you something. If it can turn in the bad direction that quickly, can it turn around positively as quick?
Absolutely. Look at the Atlanta Braves. Look at the Philadelphia Phillies. Look what they have done this year. Milwaukee Brewers.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think there's opportunities to turn things around quite dramatically.
How about the Oakland Athletics? Who picked them in August to be 21 games over 500?
Yeah, Oakland is 86 and 47, 4 games back of the Houston Astros, and nobody expected them to be in the race whatsoever. And they're just getting better and better. Last year, Oakland was 75 and 87. You mentioned the Phillies. Last year the Phillies were 66 and 96, 30 games. The Atlanta Braves, they were the same, 72 and 90. So things can turn around quickly.
Yeah, if you've got the young players to come up here and help you.
Right up the middle for a base hit. Urania has his first hit of the night.
Boy, what a really nice at-bat by Urania, fouling off some tough pitches to keep that at-bat alive, and then picking on a pitch to his liking right over the shoulder of Faria and out of the dive of Adames.
I think this ball hits right on top of the base as Adames was trying to knock it down, but it skipped on the base into center field. And now Kevin Pillar, the number 9 hitter, with 2 aboard. That's with Chirats. You know, you talk about rookies and the impact of the rookies and what they can do to help turn a team around. The Braves have had 2 younger players have a big part of their success. Ozzie Albies, their all-star second baseman. He got some time last year, but Ronald Acuna Jr. is now playing center field a lot.
And batting leadoff and raking.
Acuna came up on April 25th this season. Kevin Pillar hits it in the air. Carlos Gomez, the right fielder, calls for it, and the Blue Jays will leave a couple of base runners on here in the 8th. We'll go to the 9th. Tampa Bay with a big lead in game 1 of this 3-game series. Sam Gavidia will take the hill for the Blue Jays. The Tampa Bay Rays have not announced their starter for the game just yet, and it's the celebration of the 92-93 World Series Championships team. There's a pregame ceremony, but the pregame show with Jamie Campbell starts at 3:30 Eastern, 12:30 Pacific time, and Sam Gavidia will get to start. Top of the 9th inning. And what a job the 8 and 9 hitters have done for the Rays tonight. Willie Adames has been on base each of the 3 times he's come to the plate, and he has scored 3 runs. They have scored 5 of the 7 runs. He and the number 9 hitter, and this is going to be another hit. He's going to get past Pillar. He makes the catch as he runs onto the warning track on the 1-hopper, and that's the second double of the night. Willie Adames is 3 for 3. He's been on base all 4 times.
Boy, the bottom of the lineup, you mentioned it. It's really been a dagger for the Blue Jays. Adames got some pop now. First pitch swinging, and he drives that ball the other way. You can see he's got some talent. That's why they want him to play every day. They DFA'd and then eventually traded their starting shortstop, Adeiny Echeverria, to let Adames play every day.
Echeverria was playing okay for them, and he's a terrific defender. But they wanted the opportunity to put Adames in there without anybody looking over his shoulder. And it looks like the right move. And this is Michael Perez. He hit his first big league home run in the third inning, a 2-run home run over the wall in right. And then he got his second hit, a single in the 7th. He has driven in 2 and scored 2. Maley with a heck of a block. That ball was way out in front of home plate.
Yeah, you're not really sure if it's going to bounce high in the air or it's going to skip along the turf. So Luke just got as wide as possible. Said, okay, hit anywhere on my body just so I keep it in front of me. Catches it off the chest protector.
Ball and a strike to Perez. Ground ball, that'll move the runner from second to third. Another good at bat for Perez. Adames goes over to third.
That's how productive that lower half, and then you switch it over to Smith. Adames has been on 4 times now, and he's 90 feet away from scoring his 4th run. So the infield has to come in again.
Seems like they've been playing in all night long. Mallex Smith hit his 9th triple of the season back in the 5th. Then he had a sacrifice bunt in the 7th. I don't know how Luke got that one. That was destined for the backstop, but he blocked it to save a run.
I don't know if he knew how he got that one, but that was a heck of a play. This looked like it was going to be another run. Curve ball. And he's able to backhand it and pick it like a first baseman.
Bouncing ball. Travis will look the runner back at third, and Smith is retired. 2 away. Willie Adames at third base has had 3 hits tonight. It's the first time in his big league career he's had the 3-hit game. He's also scored 3 runs. That's another first. He's had quite an offensive night. Not bad for a number 8 hitter playing shortstop at 22 years old.
They have some players in their farm system. Tampa Bay Rays, they might be a team to reckon with over the next few years.
Joey Wendell has driven in 3 runs tonight, had a sac fly in the 5th and a 2-run double in the 7th. Ball and a strike. Jamie Schultz loosening up for Tampa Bay. Their bullpen has been fairly consistent this year. Good fastball from Biagini.
Looking for the breaking ball, and they crossed him up with another fastball. Joe's fastball, he's thrown some good ones tonight. He's kept it down. He gets hurt when that fastball or that breaking ball gets up in the strike zone. This time it looks like they're going to try and elevate a fastball just to get a swing and miss or a pop-up.
Wendo's had some good at-bats tonight. He has battled, and after flying out twice, his first 2 times up, he had a sac fly to left field and then hit that double in the seventh. He's had 3 RBIs tonight. It's the first time in his career he's driven in 3 runs in a game. He's had 1 4-RBI game.
He's had some good at-bats, like you said. Outfield playing him shallow. He's already hit 1 ball over their head tonight.
Now they're blocked by Maley.
Those good at-bats, Chad Mottola was telling me, he was saying, you know, Wendell can really battle you. He's always thinking about the middle of the field, taking it back there. Doesn't really try to do too much, just pound that ball back through the middle. And that's evident of the defense. You can see Pilar and the left fielder Hernandez shading him the other way.
Biagini set. Here's the 2-2. Hit him. A breaking ball hit Wendell. He'll go to first base. And Luke Maley, boy, he has done a job. Looked like he took that one on the chin.
Another curveball that's bounced. Does it get underneath the face mask? Yes, it does.
Now you can see the extension on his mask. It's designed to protect you from those balls that come up under your mask. And obviously you want to tuck that chin down so that extension protects you. But that time that ball got underneath that extension and hit him in the throat.
I don't know how you guys do it.
Oh, it was a lot of fun.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but you know what? You do everything right, and even with all the great protection, every once in a while you're going to take one.
Mm-hmm. Like that. Looked like it caught him in the throat.
2 outs. This is the first baseman, Jake Bowers. He hasn't gotten into the action tonight with the bat. He's 0 for 4. The Rays have out hit the Blue Jays 9-3. Bowers came into this game 5 for 10 against the Blue Jays, but he's taken an 0 for tonight. A couple of strikeouts.
Yeah, didn't have a lot of fun with the changeup today. Pop out a strikeout and a ground out against Estrada.
That's out of play. Ball on the strike to Bowers. Jake Bowers is 22 years old. He's from Newport Beach, California. He was drafted by the Padres. He was traded December of 2014 in a 3-team trade. San Diego, Tampa Bay, and Washington. That involved Trey Turner and Steven Souza Jr. A pretty good trade.
Pretty good trade for Tampa. They just made one trade too many. Trey Turner came over to this team in that trade, and then they flipped him.
Flipped him to Washington, and probably would have liked to have him now. Bowers hit his first big league home run off Sam Gaviglio. A 4th inning 2-run home run in that 8-4 win down in St. Pete. 1-2. Now it's strike 3. That ball might have been off the plate outside, but Bowers is called out. He can't believe it. He strikes out for the 3rd time. We will go to the bottom of the 9th. Blue Jays in a deep hole. Jaime Schultz coming out of their bullpen.
Presented by Honda at the Model Clearout event. The real victory lap is the drive home.
7-0 for the Tampa Bay Rays. They'll have a new pitcher to start the bottom of the ninth. It'll be Jamie Schultz, the right-hander, former 14th round pick of Tampa Bay in 2013. He's 27 years old.
He's got a big arm. That fastball can get close to triple digits. He's only thrown 16 2/3 innings this year, but he's had 22 strikeouts and 11 walks. Big arms, but at times can lose the strike zone. Jamie Schultz trying to finish this one off after Snell and Faria. 8 shutout innings.
Randall Grichuk has a base hit. He has one of the 3 Blue Jay hits. He was thrown out trying to stretch a single into a double with 2 outs into 6. Alex Smith threw him out at second. Jake Faria, 3 innings. He gave up all 3 of the Blue Jay hits. He walked a batter, struck out 3. .96.
Called up about a month ago. This is his second stint with the Rays. You can see he's got a pretty good arm. He's also got a very power curveball that he can use for strikeouts.
Easy fastball there at 97. This is a familiar theme around baseball. Big arms coming out of the bullpen, and hitters talk about it all the time.
Not a real big guy. You know, he's listed at 5'10", 200 pounds from High Point University. He's got a big arm, though.
There's that curveball, little squibber out in front of home. Nice play at first by Jake Bauers. Schultz gave him a low throw, but he handles it easily. He's made a couple of good digs over there at first.
He does the right thing, I think. Goes over and bare hands the ball and then spikes it, but no problem for Jake Bauers as he picks it.
One away now, Devin Travis. He has a couple of strikeouts on an over 3 night. The Blue Jays beat the Red Sox last night 8-5, and they pounded out 12 hits tonight. They got stuck in a deep hole, and they were stuck there by Blake Snell, the starter. It came out blowing that fastball at 98 and delivering a yellow hammer curveball. Yeah, I'm telling you what, that was a great breaking ball he had.
And you throw in a changeup. I would love to have seen what he could have done if he could have maintained that. But again, it's just his second start since coming off the disabled list. And the Rays are being cautious with that arm, and I don't blame them.
It's a high fly ball into center field. Kiermaier, almost in straightaway center now, makes the catch, 2 outs. So Justin Smoak will have one more chance to extend his hit streak. He is 0 for 3. He's got a 13-game hit streak, one off his career high. It's the longest active hit streak in the majors. Elvis Andrus had his 19-game hit streak come to an end last night. So Smoak with a chance to extend that hit streak.
Francisco Lindor is the only switch hitter with a longer streak this season.
He had a 15-game hit streak as a switch hitter. He and Smoak both enjoying long hit streaks.
Looked over some of his hit streaks in his career. He's had the 14 that spanned 2 seasons. The active one that he has 13, had 11-game hit streak in 2011, and he also had a 10-game hit streak last season.
I have been impressed with Michael Perez, the catcher.
What has impressed you?
His presence behind the plate. And he's a perfect size for a catcher. Very compact. Look at this target. Throw it to me here. He's very convincing with that target as he presents it to his pitcher, but for a young catcher, he has been in total control tonight. And oh, by the way, he caught a perfect game for 5 innings. Smoke hits it in the air, and this is playable. Brendan Lau makes the catch, and that ends the ball game. And the Rays take the first game of this 3-game series, 7-0. The Rays get 2 home runs, one from Michael Perez, his first big league home run, and G-Man Choi hit his 5th of the season.
This was all about the pitching of the Rays. Blake Snell, outstanding. Shutout baseball. Jake Faria, 3 shutout innings, and then Jamie Schultz finishing it off. The bottom of the lineup of the Tampa Bay Rays doing most of the damage as the Blue Jays lose the first game in this 3-game series.
Tampa Bay has now won 6 of the 7 games these 2 clubs have played so far. Thanks for watching, folks. Have a great night. We'll see you tomorrow afternoon. Stay tuned. Here's Sportsnet Central with Eric Thomas and Nikki Reyes.